Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I have a lot of exciting news. So the news came out right now on Twitter, well not right now, but a while back, that the 17 is going to have a world tour, and of course Chicago was one of the places they're going to come to, so I'm very excited while my wallet is ready to run away while I'm holding on tightly we will spend this money. I will throw it at them, but that's the good news. Now let me go with my rant. Before we start this video, this is the part 2 of sorts to S.Coups personality reading. So previously I started this new series, and in it it's all about a certain person, right? In this case we started with S.Coups, and unfortunately when I was doing that, it was the first time I didn't even notice, but I skipped one whole section which is talking about his fears. What does he fear? And also, when my editor was editing it, she didn't notice, and then when I was publishing it, when I was uploading it, I didn't notice until I was putting the timestamps, and I was like, wait, I think I'm missing a whole chunk over here, and that's talking about his fears. Now the intro might be a bit long, but this was supposed to be just a little part within his reading. So if this video is a lot shorter than what you guys are used to, that's why. And yeah, let's just kind of jump into it. I'll do my best to remember what happened in his reading. I'm just too excited with the whole world tour thingy and some other stuff, so I may not remember that well. So if you feel like there's I'm gonna put this back. If you feel like it feels a bit disconnected and stuff, that's why I'm recording this 3 couple days after the first one, so I don't remember that well. So anyway, so what are S.Coups' fears? We have the 10 of Cups reversed, the Fool reversed, and the Sun. I do remember he got the Sun reversed in his personality, what his personality is like. Okay, so with the 10 of Cups, this card to me usually talks, when it's reversed, it kind of I get it for myself not so long ago, and it's the feelings that I got was not trusting, or your dreams not coming true, or not being able to see the end of the road, the light at the end of the tunnel, happy endings. So I feel that one of the things that S.Coups really fears is that his dreams don't come true. He fears that his efforts will not be paid off. He fears that we saw earlier in his personality that he was the type that really valued having those baby steps and going slow and steady towards a goal, not having to rush and make a dream come true very quickly. But he does appreciate the journey and the hard work that it's put into making something possible. So with this 10 of Cups reverse, I do feel that one of his biggest fears is that his work will not pay off, or that his efforts are in vain. He definitely fears that he trusts that you can build something, something can be built very steadily, even if it's going slowly, even though the process is not as quickly as he may have wished. But one of his biggest fears is that, just because something is taking some time to build, there's always that potential of, what if this is the wrong path? What if this is the wrong approach? What if what work he's putting into will not be paid off and will not actually get him to his dreams and his goals? So I think that's one of the biggest fears that he has, that whatever work he's doing in the present will not be paid off into the future, or that he may be doing things about it wrongly, which I believe his life purpose. Now usually when a reading like this happens, I wouldn't have reached that part yet, but because of S.Coups, we already reached that part. So in his life purpose, one of the things that he got was learning to figure out what he should actually carry, what energy is actually important to have, and which baggage he definitely has to get rid of, right? So prioritizing what's important to him, what matters, and what he should focus on, right? So I do feel that this 10 of Cups, that fear that he has, is one of those things that are slowly helping him figure out how to overcome that fear. And that is the whole point, as one of his life purpose, one of his life missions in this lifetime, right? One of the things that he's learning is that through that fear, he's learning the things that he should definitely stay with and what he should let go. So those fears that he has are not in vain. Those fears are not just there to be an obstacle and like blind him and keep him out in the unknown. Those fears are to let him know. It's kind of like a red flag and a siren that tells him this is what you have to work on. This is, these things that you fear have a reason to exist there, and this is, in the work that he puts into it is the healing that will help him in the long run. Now, another thing that goes very similar to what the Ten of Cups was talking about is the Fool reverse. So the Fool reverse talks about not being able to trust in the process, not being able to trust in a new beginning. And one of the things that I was getting with this card was like feeling that his risks, again, will not be paid off. I feel like that's like a very big thing with S.Coups. One of the things that he really fears is that things will not be paid off. And that goes very well with the Sun that comes after, but I'll talk about it when we reach that point. So with the Fool upright, we're usually talking about someone. Now that I mention it, I think he got the Fool in his personality as well. I think that was the Little Mermaid story. So I do feel that his personality is one, that goes forward, gets things done, takes those leaps of faith. He trusts that things are going to happen. But his fears are like, in a way, a shadow of that personality that he has, right? He has this personality that's pretty straightforward, is not afraid of taking that first step. He's an initiator. He is the one that starts things off. He's the one that is like, okay, we're going to take this risk because we're going to figure it out. We're just going to jump into it and see where it gets us, that type of energy. But the shadow of that personality trait that he has is, that doubt and the fear that kind of kicks in when such risks are taken, right? I think he has this. One of the things that he fears is that he makes the wrong choice, that he makes a wrong decision, that he puts his money on the wrong thing, right? I don't mean that literally. I mean that, like, he trusts that this path is going to take him to his goal, but then one of the things that he fears is that wasn't the right path, right? I think one thing that he should be aware of is that there's technically never a wrong choice or a wrong decision. So what I mean by that is that he could go down a path that could be more challenging and difficult, but that doesn't make it wrong, if that makes sense. That's just part of his healing. That is part of his journey, part of his process. So maybe there was an easier and a faster way, and maybe a smoother road he could have walked upon to reach his goal or get to a position in his life, to reach his goal, basically. But just because he picked the bumpy road that was a little bit difficult and almost felt like a detour to what he aimed for, what he learned along the way are going to be tools that will benefit him in the future. So that's definitely that's why it's technically not wrong. It's just part of his journey. Sometimes he may feel that he's going down a path, and one of the things that he fears is that he takes on the wrong direction that just brings him back to the beginning, to square one. But again, it's the same thing. He may have gone a longer way, and he may have felt like he took steps backwards, but now he has new insight that will help him and benefit him when he continues moving towards a certain goal, a different path, and so on and so on. So I feel that one of the things that he may fear is that he goes on the wrong path, the wrong way, but there's nothing to be afraid of. All of those paths, there's not necessarily a correct path, and there's not necessarily a wrong one either. All of them are just part of his experience. They're all life lessons and things that he has to learn. So I don't think there's necessarily anything that he should fear. I think he should slowly just learn that that's just how the process works. That's just how it happens. So I do feel that one of the things that he fears is that is something that puts him down a lot when he reaches that point. When he reaches a point where he feels like he made a wrong turn or made a mistake or made the wrong call, I think he is very hard on himself, and he kind of tells himself off for that. But I do feel that that's something that with time he will learn, that he shouldn't take it to heart if he quote unquote makes the wrong decision. Now, going along with those lines, we have the Sun upright. So the Sun is a very optimistic card, and you'll think, okay, how can this be interpreted about, with fears? So one thing that just randomly came to my mind is the spotlight. He fears the spotlight. I think he fears to be put on the spot. I think he fears having people rely on him so much. He fears having to be the example, if that makes sense. He fears like the responsibility that comes with all of that. So that's one thing that just randomly came to my mind But the thing that I wanted to talk about earlier is blind optimism, which I think I did talk about in his personality and those 4 cards that came up, because he got the sun reversed there. And spoilers, I don't know if you guys haven't watched that, which you should definitely watch that first. But with that one, I was mentioning that he's very optimistic, very happy. You know, he tends to be very childlike, filled with energy, and filled with happiness. And he sees that kind of like a downside, because he tries to be more realistic. So he creates worry and optimism in such a way, pessimism in such a way that he feels that that's a form of being realistic, because he had the 5 of Cups right next to it. So I do feel that with the sun here being part of his fears, is that he fears that when he's been optimistic and that he's looking, he's hopeful, he has faith, he trusts the process, he fears that when he reaches that type of feeling or that energy, he fears that he's kind of grown careless and complacent about the goals that he has in mind and what he's working on. He fears that he's taking it too easy. He fears that he's not putting enough work into something. So with the sun here, I do feel that he kind of worries a lot about I think he doesn't know what resting and relaxing means, I feel. He could have those things, I would know. Those things that when life tells you, just relax, leave it in our hands, and you as a human kind of just go like, blinded because you can't see beyond what you have in front of you. You kind of go like, what? Leave it to your hands. No. There's something I can do. There's something I have to do. There's no way that I will randomly just have my dream come true without putting any work in it, right? Sometimes the work that we have to put in it is believing, or just making sure we don't get in the way of life, or just accepting that we don't know how it's going to happen, and just accepting it and receiving it when it happens, right? So I do feel that with this sun card here, the thing that S.Coups fears is getting things for free or getting things gifted to him, because I feel that he kind of finds it very hard to accept those rewards for what they are. He always feels like there's some not baggage, but he always feels like there's like a but behind it. There's always something, like there's always a catch. That's what I'm getting at. So I do feel that the sun here is just that energy where he feels like sometimes he may know that he deserves well and good, but sometimes I feel like he finds it hard to believe all of the blessings that he could get. And he feels like hard work should be how he gets those things, and sometimes just having them is a little bit too much. So I think there's a sense of like working on his self-worth, and just accepting that sometimes he doesn't have to work hard for things to come his way. He could just say, universe, I want this, and boom, he gets it. So yeah, those are the fears that kind of came through. I hope you guys like this video. Hopefully I don't remember. Oh my god, look at me messing it up already. But hope that I actually do remember to do all 7, I think it was 7 or so sections of the personality reading for other people. Again, if there's people that you want to see this reading for, make sure to comment down below about that. And with that, part 2 of S.Coups personality reading is done. I told you this one was going to be kind of short for obvious reasons. It's just one little section, and I still kind of went on. I gave myself the liberty to just kind of continue talking. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. And I hope you guys are also excited for the world tour as I am, and hopefully money rains on me so like that we can get to that concert. Woohoo! So yeah, bye.